So I'm just going to add a location, one of those cocoa farms, okay? And I can choose whether I want to, because, okay, this is a little bit complicated, so I'm not going to go into detail here, but we can use, apply our rules, our functions to hourly data or to daily aggregated data. Okay, I'm just gonna use hourly data for now, or daily, which is easier. I'm going to generate 5 years of signal, and here I can define rules, which is, what is a rule? I just have lots of weather variables I can choose from. So for instance, I'm going to use the maximum temperature. There are many rule types that we can calculate. So I'm going to use a success rule, which is if the maximum daily temperature goes beyond 30, that's my signal. I want to have a value of 1 or true if this happens. And I'm just going to type in 100 here, just any value. We can use pre-processing, which again is a little bit more technical, so I'm going to skip it by now, but you can apply pre-processing to all the variables, to each variable. And I'm going to create another rule, another success rule, but now I'm going to use precipitation sum, and I wanted this to be true if it's not raining a lot. So the minimum value is 0 if it rains less than, let's say, 1 millimeter during the day. Okay. So what this is going to do is just whenever you have a day with an average or maximum temperature above 30 degrees Celsius and a total precipitation of less than 1 millimeter, you're gonna have this to 1 values, right? So the count of how many rules were true in this case. And then I'm going to combine this. If n is violated, an OR rule, an n rule, at least k rules were violated, and most k. I'm talking about violations here because I'm just using thresholds and interval rules, right? So step functions, or just it is true if the variable is within some boundaries, it's false if it's not. There are lots of other operations that we can do, okay? I'm going to just use all violated, so its signal is going to be 0 if no rule is violated, 1 if one of the two conditions is met, or 2 if both conditions are met. We can do some other things here, aggregate weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever, daily here. We can do, it might be interesting to go monthly here, just to see what happens, right? We can use some window in the time frames. For instance, I just want the signals during daytime or so on. I'm gonna use the historical. I can choose between historical or forecast, and of course I can here choose if I click on this button here, I'm going to turn on actionable mode, which actually is going to create for me both historical values and forecast values, and it's going to compare the forecast with the history and point out the extreme days as we've seen.